Hey guys, Clumsy here. Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. We are flying somewhere completely different today. Let me show you specifically where we are. I did open a browser for this. So Google Maps, we are currently somewhere in Mexico. And if we zoom in here, we are somewhere in Chihuahua. And if we zoom in more, we should be somewhere, actually exactly in Urique. Now this place might sound familiar to some of you, those of you who have been watching the trucking videos. This is one of the places that are implemented in the Chihuahua map by Team Reforma. And this town in particular strikes me because you might notice that large strip of road there. That is actually a road/runway. So it's a dual purpose thing in this town. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but we are specifically right on this spot right here. So in this video, we'll be trying to take off from this very interesting curved runway. I actually just landed here as well, barely. We'll try to land as well, but no promises there. But what I wanted to tour you around in is this vicinity because it is absolutely breathtaking. And if you've seen the Chihuahua videos in the trucking, the American Truck Simulator videos in this map, then you might have an idea how scenic it can get. Anyway, let's go and get things started. The plane is already up and running. Should be good to go. You immediately see the potential, seeing those mountain ranges in the distance. And if I go to drone mode right here, there is the runway that I have been talking about. That's where we are. So we have quite a short runway here, although with this plane, with the Cessna 172, I think it should be possible. I do have flap set just to be on the safe side. And it's a bit of a curved thing, so we'll have to use our rudder to navigate around the runway. It would be quite interesting. Right, full mixture, fuel pump, I think I turned that on already. Okay, parking brake is released. Hold the brakes. Alright, takeoff power is set. Flaps are one notch for takeoff. We do have like a downhill ramp here, which should help a bit with the takeoff. And we do have, it's like point of no return part in here, where we would need to rotate or not survive at all. But in this case, that proved to be quite fortunate for us. Right, up and running. Smooth the flaps up. Let's get some altitude. Stay away from the ground. It can be quite scary flying through these parts. I'm expecting a bit of updrafts as well from the mountains. Losing a bit of speed here. Getting into dangerous territories. Let's pitch down. There we go. Just looping around for a bit so you guys can see how the town of Urique looks like from a bit higher vantage point. And if we try to trace that route that we took before, oh my goodness, I'm getting absolutely hammered with the winds, updrafts from the mountains. Okay, you see that road right there on the left? That is, if I remember correctly, the road we took in our American Truck Simulator silent trucking video when we took this route to Urique. And we actually saw that same runway, maybe portrayed a bit differently, but yeah, we saw that runway/road in the town. And that was one of the ideas I came up with. I really wanted to fly here because it is going to be a nice intersect of the trucking world and the flight sim world. So what we'll try to do here, stabilize ourselves, fly over the town of Urique, and we'll trace that mountain path that we took in the silent trucking episode and see how it looks from above like this. But this is the power of this flight simulator. Everything is mapped automatically thanks to satellite imagery, and you have such a believable sight over here. Let me see, I think I'll have to go external view a bit. Oh, that looks so good. Wow. Breathtaking. I don't need to see where the road is though. Okay, this is the road that we were in. It's a bit scary now that you're looking at it from above. Looks like we'll need to do some steep turns here as well. Bear with me a bit. Airspeed, losing airspeed. Phew, those winds. That's where it is. Sorry guys, it's a very bumpy flight, I know. But stay with me here. Let's get some altitude first. Get ourselves some distance from the ground to make it a bit safer. Balance the mixture a little bit as well. There you go. We should be able to turn off the fuel pump. Landing taxi lights now. Should be okay. And look at that sunrise. It is currently around 7 in the morning. So we have that beautiful sunrise glow. Let's try to get a bit more stable in here first, so that we don't get whipped around by the mountains as much. Ideal climb speed is around 70 knots, 70 to 85 knots. So we'll just keep it straight here. We are getting a nice enough rate of climb at the moment, around 500 to 1,000 feet per minute. So we are gaining some altitude. We are gaining some distance from the ground. That's good. This plane is just such a pleasure to fly, and it's the best. I think it's the best plane for sightseeing because of the high wing layout. So when you look like that, when you look there below, there is no wing that obstructs the view because the wing is up there, as opposed to the low wing models, which are, I'm sure they have their use, but in terms of sightseeing, not as scenic. Here you get the full view like that when you look out. Alright, I think we've gotten enough altitude. Let's get back to that mountain pass and try and trace where we went. And then let's tour this place a bit around, and then we'll try to land again at that runway. I think runway might be exaggerating it a bit. Calling it a runway might be a bit of an exaggeration. There we go. Okay. So the town of Urique should be coming up ahead again. We haven't really gone that far yet. That should be Urique right there on the left, I think. Yeah, there's the runway. There's the mountain pass actually in front of us. Yeah, that's where we drove in ATS. Yes, yeah, this is such a cool thing, seeing how that looks from above like this. Very different perspective. If you guys watched the recent stream that we did for ETS2, Euro Truck Simulator 2, we were touring around Croatia in Dubrovnik. I think that's a very famous tourist spot because that's where they shot many of the scenes in Game of Thrones, apparently. I think that's where they shot King's Landing. So that became a very famous tourist destination. Maybe even before that it was famous. But yeah, Dubrovnik is in ETS2, and there is that like particular area where that I guess it's a famous bridge that is in the truck sim. But at the same time, I flew over there here in Flight Sim, and I saw that exact scene. The bridge doesn't look exactly the same, but everything else, my goodness, it was super accurate, and it just gave me goosebumps, you know, when you see something in Truck Sim and when you see something in Flight Sim and you connect those two sims together. Now that's immersion, that's realism. It's so cool that we live in these times already. So yeah, that's the look. You can look forward to that kind of thing. So Initially, I've been making videos for Flight Sim touring the Philippines, which is amazing. I get to discover my own country. But at the same time, I want to link up the two worlds, the truck sim and the flight sim. So I want to be able to show you guys the places that we've driven in. And I want to show you how that looks from up above here, thousands of feet above. And if we can link those up, I'm sure the feeling will be such a... There's some level of satisfaction in there. And I just can't quite describe it in words, but you know that feeling when you see something, when you know something in real life and when you see it in the sim? Something similar to that. Like two very different worlds apart simulators and getting linked with that same place. Yeah, that's exactly where we were driving in Truck Sim. I'll try to link that video in the description and maybe in the cards if I know how to use that. My goodness, that is steep, isn't it? Yeah, I remember having a lot of trouble there. We can't even climb that high yet. We'll have to get some altitude again. And now it's getting harder and harder to climb because we're getting higher and higher up. Let me trim up here so my arms don't start aching out. But even if we don't see the actual roads until the end, even if we just explore this area, this is just super scenic. Because you have all this like river or canyon in the middle. It's like valley that traces through the mountain pass. And it is so cool looking. And look at all those, how the clouds just merge with the mountains and you see those different layers up ahead. So good. Alright, we are descending now, which is not something I want. We do have a bit of cloud cover here, so we cannot go that high. Not sure what the temperature is here. Hopefully not anywhere near icing conditions. Yeah, let's try to climb a bit more so we can try and trace that route. There's the mountain road again on our right. I think we'll have to punch through the clouds though to see beyond it. Maybe I should have taken the other Cessna 172, the one with the G1000, the one with the high-tech glass panels. So we have synthetic vision. You know that thing that even if you have clouds in front of you, because of that display, you can see the terrain below you, in front of you, and see if you're any closer to like hitting a mountain or something. This is just so cool. There's the roadway up there. Now if we want to climb further, let's have to do that. Just playing with the mixture a bit. Yeah, we'll have to punch through the clouds, which is not something I'd like. So I think we stop tracing the mountain path there. There should be like a small town again up ahead there where we started that trucking job. But now I think it's nice to, so it will be nice to tour this around, trace this river around. Urique is right there, that's where we came from. If you look at this from this side, that's the runway. Yeah, I love flying through areas like this. So scenic. Okay, I think we can fly level now. The clouds are a bit of a party pooper, but they do add to the scene, don't they? Wowzers. So yeah, if you have ideas, if you've seen some scenic sights in Truck Sim and want to see how they look in Flight Sim, let me know in the comments. We'll compare those two together. I'm sure you have some ideas, especially to the trucking fans out there. In our years of trucking, we have seen quite a number of scenic sights, jaw dropping, beautiful landscapes. And if they look good from ground level, I bet they would look even more fantastic way up in the air. Would be a nice way to combine those two things together. Goodness. Yeah, I didn't expect it to be this nice, but I have no regrets here. Really good looking. So we can explore this further, but I think what's more exciting to do now is to actually try and approach on that airport. Let's see if I can manage to land this thing there again. It is quite tricky. Maybe quite is an understatement. And there will be no butter landing for sure. But as long as we land and arrive in one piece, I think I should be happy enough with that. Landing lights, fuel pump. There's the runway. Actually, we are super high here. Goodness. Let me try and get some flaps in so we can slow down and increase our rate of descent. Might need to do some forward slipping. Thank you for the comments, by the way, in the other videos, guys. I've been learning a lot from you. Taught me the art of forward slipping, the importance of it. Okay, flaps are fully deployed. Can go idle here. Oh, that is way too high. So what we can do is do a forward slip here. So what we do is face the runway, and then we apply like right rudder, and then we counteract that with left aileron. So we are still moving towards the runway, but we are descending at a very, very fast pace without insanely increasing the airspeed. Although that is still very far away from ideal. Oh my goodness, this is going to be tricky. I'm not sure I want to approach it that way. No. Let's so we've managed to lose a lot of altitude, but that is still a bit dangerous. Mixture full. We're not that high anymore. Alright, let's loop around here. I do have full flaps. Let's lose those flaps a bit because I need to maneuver. To do a sharp turn here. Go around. That's fine. That's better than trying to smash it in and getting a black screen in the process. Goodness. So yeah, looking forward to your ideas. Which scenes you want to check out in Flight Sim that made you cry with the beauty in Truck Sim. I can imagine a couple of nice sceneries in ETS2, for example. That would be so cool. And if you want to explore Chihuahua more, let me know. Explore these mountains more. We've only touched the absolute surface of it. Let's try that one. I think it's still a bit too much. Let me just... Okay, so what we need to do is we need to get some distance from the runway so I have enough space. Oh, look at that. Mountain pass in full glory. That looks super steep, doesn't it? Okay. So I need to get some space first in. There you go. Do like a 60-degree turn here or something. 60-degree bank, which is pretty dangerous. Just quickly. You guys got your vomit bags ready. Hopefully no one is super dizzy yet. Alright, so what we need to do is get some space in. We'll go straight ahead, just trace this river. The runway should be right behind us if we look in the exterior. There it is. So we'll get some distance away from it so we have enough time to maneuver. Let me dial this down, dial the throttle down so we can fly level. I do have 1 notch of flaps. That should be okay. So we can hug this mountain a bit. And then we can probably turn around like so. Make sure I fly level. That's not the definition of level in my books, but maybe we can make that work. There you go. It's more like it. Alright, that's looking much better. We are losing airspeed as well, which is good. So we can set ourselves up for landing. There it is. There's the runway. Slow it down right now. There we go. Slow it down more. So we bleed off the airspeed. Second notch of flaps. Full flaps for landing. There we go. That's a much better position. Now this mountain on the right is getting a bit in the way of that perfect approach to this runway. So I think we'll have to approach it at a bit of an angle, but maybe this can work like here. Actually just on idle all the way, because we do have enough airspeed already. There it is. That is the right angle to approach this one. Whew, here we go, guys. Alright, there it is. Oh no. There it is. Ugh. Almost hit one of the houses. I wonder how they land here and what it's used for. It'd be pretty interesting though, huh? Interesting way of getting to the town. Hit the bush. Okay, fine, hit the bush. Alright. Yeah, just a quick preview. You're right in the middle of the bush. Now that's a bush flight. Sorry. Yes. But that is just a quick preview of what this sim has to offer. So yeah, let's crowdsource this as always. Let's check out what else we can explore and enjoy the sights of. Thanks for watching, guys. Shorter video than usual, but hope you enjoyed that little tidbit. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Clumsy flying. Catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.